Crunchberries by Silka Chambers. I received a package in the mail today. The small padded manila envelope sat conspicuously on the pile of mail that my wife Robin set on the coffee table. I immediately threw the pre-approved credit card apps in the trash, filed the bills without opening them, and tossed the dental reminder onto my wife's desk. She handles appointments. I turned the package over. No return address. I shook it. Just a dull shuffling noise. Sniffed it. No unusual odor, no white powder drifting from the seams. The flap was held closed by rusty staples which broke when I worked it open. I pulled out a canary yellow invoice. It was wrapped around a small black item enclosed in brittle plastic film. The black item was a felt pirate eye patch. The elastic band of the eye patch was outstretched as it dangled from my fingers. What the? Who ordered this? Robin walked in as I was examining the article. What's that? She said. I don't know. Some joke. Where's it from? She asked. I picked up the invoice. Novelties Unlimited was the heading, and the lines below contained payment information. Evidently, 3 Crunchberries box tops were credited for this purchase. Look at the date, Robin said. The date on the invoice read in faded typewriter font, May 10th, 1976. I was 12 years old, I said. Trying to comprehend, I wondered if things were commonly lost this long at the post office. I realized this is one of the many cereal box prizes I enjoyed sending away for as a young boy. I had accumulated entire collections of Wheaties Frisbees, Chex cereal bowls, and a Tony the Tiger beach towel. The eye patch was part of a pirate costume I had been trying to collect. I had the headscarf, fake beard, and stick-on scars. The eye patch was the last item to complete the ensemble. It was a lesson in patience, waiting for the prizes to come in the mail. I first had to eat all the cereal. My little sister Tammy helped me with that, although she had no interest in cereal box prizes you send away for. She preferred the here and now, Donny Osmond records you cut off the back of the cereal box, or Frankenberry strawberry scented stickers that came in the box, were more to her liking. I liked the bigger stuff and was always saving box tops for something. When they started demanding UPC codes, the magic faded. It wasn't the same as stuffing 10 cardboard box tops into an envelope. As I fingered the eye patch, I tried to remember what was going on in my life when I was collecting the pirate set. I was in 6th grade, almost too old for such fantasy. My classmates were getting 10-speed bikes or playing Little League. Mom came home late most nights, and my sister was usually at the neighbor's house playing with their girls. I found great comfort in make-believe. It staved off the uncomfortable feeling of loneliness. Put it on. What? I focused back to the present. My wife was grinning at me. The eye patch, she said. Put it on. Unable to resist, I grinned back as I carefully slipped the fragile elastic over my head. Arrgh! Hey! I sat down hard on the couch as the room began to spin. I saw things. The eye patch. It became a window, and I started seeing things through it. This is wild! The window was a kaleidoscope of memories that spinned and whirred by, pausing at points like a videotape being rewound and stopped intermittently to find a favorite part of a movie. Distantly, I heard Robin saying, What's happening? Are you okay? Through the eye patch, I saw a small brown dog with wiry fur. He was trotting up to my driveway, leaving muddy paw prints in his wake. Poncho! A tugging at my elbow. The small dog was on hind legs, leaning on me and mouthing my coat sleeve. My mom was just coming home, and I was begging to keep him. Mom fought with me, as moms do, about the responsibility and cost of keeping a dog. I pleaded and promised, as boys do, and won out in the end, being permitted to keep Poncho, on the condition that no one else claimed him. I was starting to remember why Poncho was so important. The eye patch. He helped me eat enough cereal to order that last part of the pirate costume. He stayed in my room while I was in school and ate cereal like dog food. He also helped me get over my loneliness. I walked him all over the neighborhood after school, which had a twofold benefit. It helped me meet people and helped me work off the baby fat that lingered around my belly and face. I grew 3 inches. Poncho became an ace at chasing 10-speeds and retrieving out-of-bounds Little League baseballs. I still didn't play baseball, but attended the games after school to show off my dog's talent. Poncho was with me for 10 years. When he died, I kept his dog tag in my pocket. I liked to finger it whenever I was nervous. It was my good luck charm, and I was sorry when I lost it. Fast forward a bit. Next, I saw myself in my room, sitting on the floor. Poncho was on my bed. He reached out and pawed at my head. Before I knew it, the eye patch was being lifted over my head, and I was looking into the very concerned face of my wife. "You blanked out," she said. "I know. It was wild. I could see myself as a kid." "You could see yourself?" "I can't explain it. The eye patch is like a video. I could see the past through it." "Give me that." Robin snatched the item and slipped it over silky brown hair. "Do you see?" I said. She did see. She was saying, "Oh my God, there's my mom in the kitchen, and my brother." The faraway look in her face indicated she was reliving part of her past. Moments later, she handed the magic eye patch back to me and said, "We have to hide this." "Why?" "It's evil." Robin was trembling. "I saw some things I don't want to remember." "No way! Give it back!" I wanted to see more. I began to put it back on. Robin grabbed for it. "No, we can't!" I held the eye patch up out of reach. As it dangled from my hand, Robin stomped into the kitchen. "Fine, but nothing good can come of it." I remained in the living room. Alone, I was free to examine the pirate eye patch in detail. The patch was simply a single layer of felt. No hidden compartments for batteries. It was not any kind of electronic device. I was dissatisfied with the non-technical nature of the item and had to accept that it was simply magic. Unable to resist, I once again looked through the magic eye patch. I saw myself sitting on the first row of the bleachers at a Little League game. It was a summer evening, and a girl was approaching me. Poncho was dozing at my feet in the fading sunlight. "Cute dog," the skinny girl with stringy brown hair was saying. "Can I pet him?" "Sure." I moved over. She cooed and awed over Poncho, who was rolling over in the grass so she could scratch his belly. It was my wife, Robin. She was 10 years old. Funny, I never noticed the purple bruise on her arm before. A few minutes later, I approached Robin in the kitchen as she was loading the dishwasher. I held out the padded brown envelope that I had taped shut. "Here, where do you want to put it?" "Why?" She raised an eyebrow. "That bruise on your arm when you were a kid, when I first met you, was that from your brother or your dad?" Robin finished loading the glasses and placed the powdered soap into the receptacle. She closed the dishwasher door and pushed the on button. "It was my mom. She was mad at me. She hit my arm with a rolling pin." "She could have broken it," I said. "Why didn't you tell me?" "Why do you think I hung out at the ballpark till dark? I was afraid to go home." My mom had a violent temper, and we all tried to stay away from her, even my dad. We had clever ways of hiding it, as families did in those days. I wore long sleeves to school all the time so no one could see the bruises. When we had to change for gym class, I told Mr. Malloy I had a cold or was on my period. It got me off. My wife and I returned to the living room, and I sat down next to her on the couch. I felt distant and disturbed. Why didn't I know these things about my wife of 20 years? Our relationship with her mother was strained, and we saw her mostly on Mother's Day or her birthday, Robin offering a well-thought-of gift and taking our leave on some pretense an hour later. I figured she just had one of those strained mother-daughter relationships that arose from being a rebellious teen, since she moved in with her boyfriend right after high school against her parents' wishes. Her father had died 10 years ago in a trucking accident. He took up truck driving in his later years and had often been gone for several days at a time on interstate trips. Her brother lived in Vegas, working in a casino. We took vacations there in our early years of being together, but hadn't been back there in a long time. Most holidays were spent with my mother, Tammy and her husband, and their 4 kids. A joyful cacophony of kids and dogs yelling and barking and chasing each other. My mom and sister worked at getting holiday meals ready with the kids and 5 or 6 dogs underfoot. Robin loved it and admitted the happy family life was a selling point when I asked her to be my wife. Now, unable to have our own children, she even more relished the times spent with our nieces and nephews. I still wasn't entirely willing to put the magic eye patch aside. Maybe we could look through the eye patch and see why your mother did stuff like that, I said. Maybe there was a reason. No, there was nothing, Robin said. She just hated me, like my grandma hated her. My brother would stick up for me, but she never got mad at him. That's just the way things were. No, I said. That's not the way things should be anyway. No kid should be abused like that. Robin was smiling. Childlike, she said. Want to know a secret? Relieved to get off the uncomfortable subject of her mother's violent temper, I nodded. Sure. I found a way to get back at my mom. I used to take money from her purse. I was suddenly proud of Robin. She could retaliate. You thief. No, pirate. Ha ha, right, I said. What did you buy with the money? I didn't buy anything. I saved it. When I stole about $300, I hid it. You stole that much? I said. How long did it take? Till I moved in with Scott in '84. Robin's first husband provided escape, and he was kind, if unambitious. He had about 10 jobs in the 6 years they were together, all lasting less than a month. Her waitressing jobs paid most of the bills. She and I reconnected during the 1996 presidential election, when we campaigned locally for Bill Clinton. A year later, we were saying our vows in the county courthouse. Robin continued, We really could have used the money back then, but I forgot where I hid it, and eventually gave up on it. I forgot all about the money by the time I met you. Quieter, she said. I remembered now, when I was looking through the patch. I could see myself taking money from Mom's wallet. It was the same day I met you with Poncho. I thought it would be great to find that money. Things had been pretty tight lately since the aluminum shop I had been working at moved to Mexico. My buyout was barely enough to keep us on top of monthly bills, and I was still filling out job applications at any place I could think of. Robin's hours at the mall were cut, proof that online shopping was threatening the livelihood of in-person stores. It would be nice to have a windfall of cash to do something special with. If only we knew where it was. Wait a minute, I said. The eye patch. The eye patch will tell us where it is. I don't know, Robin said. I don't think I want to see any more of my past. She grasped my arm. I'm fine forgetting all that. I got up and headed for the kitchen. Just to find the money, to do something fun, just for us. Then we burn it. Without waiting for her to respond, I retrieved the envelope from where Robin had put it in the cupboard above the refrigerator. I joined her on the couch and tore it open. I reached in and pulled out a thick wad of $1 and $5 bills. It spilled out on the floor around us. Robin kneeled among the pile of bills, grasping handfuls of money and laughing. It's the money I stole. 5s and 1s. That's what I always took because it wouldn't be missed. I felt queasy. This is amazing. It was more than amazing. It was a miracle. As I watched my wife gather up the bills, I discovered a small metal object among the remaining ones on the floor. I picked it up and shined it on my pant leg. Poncho is what the metal disc said, and on the other side was my name and phone number. I held it up for Robin to see. My dog's ID tag. It was in the package, too. She laughed again and began counting the money, turning all the bills to face the same way. $3.25, she said at last, holding up the bundle with an air of triumph. I turned the envelope over and shook it. No pirate eye patch. It had disappeared and left in its place $325 in small bills and my dog's old name tag. I stood up, stretching stiff limbs. This calls for a celebration. Robin smiled up at me. Crunch berries? Sounds good. I stepped into the kitchen to prepare our favorite snack with a renewed sense of closeness with my wife, who trusted me with the secret of her childhood. Later that day, we will discuss a superfluous way to use up the unexpected bounty, to treat ourselves. But at this moment, enjoying our snack, we relish the feeling of success closing an unhappy chapter in her life gave us. I hope you enjoyed Crunch Berries by Silka Chambers. Please like and subscribe to my channel, checking back for new audio stories. I invite you to visit storiesthatinspire.com for more audio stories, in addition to print books and ebooks to inspire you.